Hej och välkommen till dagens video. Jag heter Lukas, är ursprungligen från Sverige men har bott här i Taiwan, Taipei, de senaste 14 åren. Och jag har spenderat de senaste 6 åren med att spela in YouTube-videos här i Taiwan och försökt att introducera och promota Taiwan till både svenskar men också till andra utlänningar från hela världen i hopp om att fler utlänningar ska komma hit till Taiwan. Men idag tänkte jag att vi vänder lite på det, så istället för att prata med en utlänning som bor här i Taiwan så ska vi prata med en taiwanes som de senaste 13 åren har bott i Sverige.
My name is David. I've been living in Stockholm for the past 13 years. Really wanted to study abroad. I really wanted to have a different experience. So a lot of people, of course, in Taiwan, basically go to UK, the US, Australia. Those are the popular destinations. And at that time, I just wanted to go to somewhere different, somewhere I have no idea about. Then Sweden became my destination. Written a book, and I'm a very active member of the Taiwanese community here in Stockholm, Sweden, where I live.
How's the weather in Sweden today?
I think today is around -10 or -12, depending on what time you are talking about.
I had so many culture shocks when I first arrived in Taiwan, and I was like, how can people live like this? This doesn't make any sense to me. Well, did you have any shocks like that when you first landed in Sweden?
First thing I noticed is the air is really fresh compared to Taiwan. So air was fresh, and then I remember the sky was really high up. Because I had the feeling in Taiwan the sky was not that high for some reasons. The sky was really blue and really high, and then the air was fresh, and then there were not so many people. I had so much space around me. It's not going to happen in Taiwan.
Yes. I get a reverse culture shock when I go back home to Sweden now. I'm always shocked that it's during the summertime, it's 10, 11 p.m. and the sun is still up. And then when I go home during winter, it's 2, 3 p.m. and there's it's just pitch black,
I think that is a really good point for Taiwanese people. During summer, like you said, the day were really, really long, and you feel like you have the entire 24 hours to do whatever you want. Yes. And I always feel like I couldn't really get enough sleep during summertime because it's still bright outside at 11 p.m. So it's a really good. But the reverse thing is about the winter. For example, now it's getting darker. Luckily today, and behind my window you can see there's still daylight, which is great. But it's going to be gone very, very soon. It's 10 a.m. now. 10 a.m. now. So sun just got up, and then I know in a few hours time it's getting dark.
What would you say is the biggest difference between living in Taiwan and Sweden, during your day-to-day life?
Basically the work and life culture. So generally speaking, in Sweden you get a really good balance. And when I say balance, it's almost 50-50. I think work is something people do for their living, but it's not their life. While in Taiwan, it's a bit like a hard working culture. People value your achievements at work, and people value your status in the society maybe. But that is just the fundamentals of the two different cultures and what you value in life.
Very well put. I couldn't agree more. Speaking about the things that you value in life, last time we chatted, I asked you to compare a few Swedish things and a few Taiwanese things. Of course, I'm not going to argue with you saying that Taiwan has the better food, but is there anything that you would say that you like when it comes to the Swedish food?
Yeah, this is a tough question. Let me think about it. Can I really say no?
Taiwan won in the categories service, overall friendliness, safety, food, convenience, and weekend activities. But Sweden won in overall quality of life, work culture, weather, and the Swedish fika was better than the Taiwanese baba milk tea. Do you feel like you need to change any of those answers, or what do you feel like today?
One thing I might want to change now, because last time when we talked, it was during summertime. And in summertime, Sweden is beautiful. It's the most wonderful time of the year. And then at that time, I was in Taiwan doing the recording with you. That was a really warm day. I was sweating all the time. So I missed the Swedish summer. But now it's a winter time. And after a few years, I think I now appreciate the hotness, the warmness, and also the heat in the country like Taiwan.
Are there still something that you feel like you can do in Taiwan that you can't really do in Sweden? Or vice versa? Is there something that you feel like you're missing when you do go back home to Taiwan again?
like I mentioned before, Sweden or people in Sweden really respect each other, the privacy, the space they need. In Sweden, you don't really go out with your friends like spontaneously. You do scheduling.
Yes.
That's what I do every day. You don't show up by your friend's door and knock on their door and say, hey, what are you doing? Can we go out? Maybe in Taiwan you don't, but sometimes in Taiwan, my friend will say, hey, I'm nearby. I can be in your place in 5 minutes. Do you want to go out for something to eat or something? But in Sweden, you don't really do that because people respect the privacy. This is my home. This is not a social space. This is my own castle. I am here. I sometimes could invite you, but not today, not tomorrow. So generally speaking, when I need to really meet my friends, we say, okay, how about next Saturday? It's usually 1 week apart from where you are because you already scheduled what you need to do today. Maybe this evening I need to be with my family and next day I need to meet my co-worker for something else. So you already have a very full schedule. So there's no spontaneous things in Sweden because you respect each other's schedule. You respect their privacy. I think there's a loneliness in this country, which is a good loneliness, not like a sad loneliness, because you will have so much time for yourself. And then especially not to mention Stockholm is actually, according to BBC, they say it's the loneliest city in the world because over 50% of the household is single household,
yes,
including
I remember
mine.
reading this.
Yeah, exactly. So you have so much time for yourself. Don't go in to meet your friend every day. You schedule to meet them. I mean, some Taiwanese people, when they read my book or some articles, they describe this is a perfect destination when you are a very introvert person because generally speaking you can be yourself and no one really judges you or cares about you what you do because you are here as an individual to live your life, and then the government or the society will provide you what you need in a basic level, and then if you need more you pursue it, but otherwise, you are on your own. I would say that's quite a major difference because in Taiwan, it's still quite a kind of collectivism, kind of the culture, and people have their value, their family members. You spend a lot of time with people around you.
With all this alone time for yourself, have you spent any of this time trying to learn Swedish?
Jag pratar svenska men det är inte så bra. The thing is, I mean, Sweden somehow, or Stockholm is quite international sometimes. You have quite a lot of different people with different backgrounds in the company. So when you need to work, you don't really need Swedish. And people also really have a really good English level in Sweden in general. I think there's a research saying that Sweden actually ranks number 2 in the world in terms of using English as a second language. But of course, it's important to learn a language for the cultural context. So you when you really start to learn it, you understand like, oh, that's why they have this kind of the culture, the feeling, and so on. So.
Do you have like a favorite Swedish word or like sentence or phrase that you think the Taiwanese people should learn before moving to Sweden?
Well, besides saying thank you, which is tack, and then also saying hello, hey, or goodbye, hey do. In Sweden, when you go to shop or where you say hello or say goodbye to people, you sometimes say ha det bra. You know, that's a very, very simple sentence, like have a good time, because I don't know you, but I don't know what you're going to do, but have a good time, and that kind of blessing each other, care each other in a very minimum way, not overly too friendly, like ha det bra.
Och på tal om att lära sig ett nytt språk och nya kulturer, till er svenskar som fortfarande är i Sverige, men som kanske redan har planer eller drömmar om att flytta hit till Taiwan och som redan nu kanske vill börja smygträna eller rent utav lära er helt flytande mandarin med traditionella tecken. Ni bör absolut kolla in Taiwan Center for Mandarin Learning, eller som det kallas i Stockholm och i Sverige, Lil TC Mandarin. Jag ska dock påpeka att min personliga mandarin har jag lärt mig här i Taiwan, men jag har faktiskt besökt TC och hennes skola i Stockholm när de hade en av deras lektioner, och jag vet inte om de har varje lektionstid, men när jag kom dit så hade vi också ett litet smakprov på lite taiwanesiska lunchboxes, vilket var väldigt uppskattat både av taiwaneser men också de svenska studenterna som var där.
在瑞典的台湾便当跟在台湾的台湾便当有差吗？
有差异，我觉得蔬菜的这些绿绿的东西跟玉米嘛有一点不同，我觉得。
为什么对台湾有兴趣？
因为我觉得是跟瑞典的文化是很不同的，一个比较 fresh 的一个经历，那里的人好像很热情。
瑞典的中菜 感觉
什么？
可能是瑞典人的口味。我觉得可能他们为了瑞典会特别的设计不一样的。
那你觉得哪一个比较好吃？
当然是台湾。
Och jag tycker det är helt fantastiskt att vi har en taiwanesisk mandarinskola i Sverige. För jag vet inte hur många utlänningar jag har intervjuat här i Taiwan, men jag skulle säga att 80% av dem har alla sagt att var det någonting de önskar de visste innan de kom hit till Taiwan, så var det just antingen mandarin eller de traditionella tecknena. En del kanske har åkt någon annanstans och pluggat, lärt sig lite mer simplified mandarin, och du kommer inte så långt på det här i Taiwan. Givetvis så kan du precis som David i Sverige, du klarar dig här i Taiwan med bara engelska. Men det underlättar om du redan kan mandarin innan du kommer hit. Men en annan sak som jag tyckte var riktigt bra med Lil Tizzy Mandarin specifikt var att det var liksom en språkskola för svenskar eller för andra studenter som vill lära sig traditionell mandarin. Men det var också liksom en samlingspunkt för taiwaneser i Stockholm. Så att de var där, träffa andra taiwaneser, men också träffa svenskar som är intresserade av Taiwan. Så det blev liksom en språkkurs plus ett språkombyte direkt, där liksom du kan prata de här kulturella skillnaderna, och du kan även liksom träna på den mandarin som du tror att du kan.
那你觉得瑞典怎么样？比台湾好吗？
比台湾好吗？它有比台湾好的地方，比如说
男生。这个是
För lite mer information angående Lil Tizzy Mandarin, klicka på länken nere i beskrivningen av den här YouTube-videon och du har väldigt mycket mer information där. Och om ni vill lära er lite mer om Taiwan Center for Learning Mandarin rent generellt, så finns det även en annan länk nere i beskrivningen där ni kan se en exklusiv video från mig på svenska där jag pratar om Taiwan och mitt liv här i Taiwan. Men den här videon ni kollar på just nu är ju inte bara om mig, så jag tror att det är dags att vi går tillbaka till intervjun och pratar lite mer med David. I know you as a podcaster, but it turns out that you are also an author. I have your book here. So this book is your guide to a life in Stockholm, from stuck in Stockholm to Stockholm is home. How was that journey from you feeling stuck in Stockholm to Stockholm being your home?
You go to a new country, there's a new culture, and you completely didn't know that. So everything is fresh, everything was new to you. When you live here for some years, you start to ask a question, who am I? Am I belonging to here, or am I actually still belonging to Taiwan? But then, after more years, I realized, I'm just in between. Came from Taiwan, and that's my root, and now I live in Sweden. I have a different life here, and there's a different kind of a chapter in my life, and I will always be in between those two cultures. But also, this book, I would say, it's also more about for the audience in Taiwan to let them know about the true face of Sweden, because sometimes you envy or jealous of Sweden. This is so great, why can we not do that? But the point is, each country or each culture has its own very unique background, so you don't necessarily need to envy the other country. You just need to know what is the most suitable for yourself. And then, for example, people say, in Sweden you have a very generous parental leave, but then if you want to have that, are you willing to pay 30 to 40% of the income tax to achieve that in a society? So in that case, you need to think about what is the best for your own country. You cannot duplicate the entire thing to another country, because it just doesn't work that way.
So how does the future look like now then? 13 years from now, are you still in Sweden? Are we gonna expect some more books about Sweden, or what's happening next in the life of David?
I used to think maybe I will stay here for a long time or forever, but now I don't really think about that anymore, because I think maybe I will go back to Taiwan sometime, because I never really worked in Taiwan, right? So maybe that is the past, or maybe I will move to other countries because of work or because of some other reasons. So to be honest, I don't know. And I think it's good, it's healthy to keep a very open-minded kind of mindset. Writing a book is a big work, so it spends so much time. So maybe, but I'm pretty sure not in this year.
But I was just going to say, you have like around
soon.
3 months of just darkness outside now, so now is the perfect time to write a book during the Swedish winter months.
Oh yeah, that is the time I lay on my sofa and then watch Netflix and then not thinking about tomorrow.
Last question. If some, let's say Taiwanese people are watching this video and they're thinking about, maybe they have read your book already, maybe they haven't. If you haven't, you should definitely go and check this book out right now. You have all the links down in the description as well. What is something that you want to tell them, something that they should know beforehand?
Keep a very open-minded mentality because you are going to experience a very, very different culture. No matter how much you learned in Taiwan, it's going to be a new beginning, and then you are going to create maybe a new life, a new identity here. So just keep it very open-minded, but also be very curious to learn about different things. Also, it's very important to stay positive during the winter time in Sweden because you just feel like hopeless all the time. So that's something I learned, just to be positive and then discover even the little things happening around you, and then like really keep you going and then keep your life wonderful.
It's amazing.
I would say.
Thank you so much, David, for sharing your life in Sweden and for chatting with us.
Thank you. Yeah. All right. Ha det bra.
Detsamma. Och ha det bra hoppas jag givetvis att alla ni som har tittat på den här videon också kommer att ha. Och till alla er svenskar som vill lära lite traditionell mandarin hemma i Sverige, klicka gärna på länken nere i beskrivningen så ser ni när nästa språkkurs börjar hos TCML. Men de har också regelbundna språkcaféer och träffar i allmänhet där ni kan lära er mer om just mandarin, men också mer om Taiwan, kulturen här i Taiwan och livet här i Taiwan i allmänhet. Vilket ni också givetvis kan lära er om ni prenumererar på min kanal och fortsätter kolla på alla mina nya videos härifrån Taiwan. Thank you all so much for watching. My name is Lucas. Starts with Alice in like, ends with S, ends in subscribe. Peace to both, and see you all in the next one.